Welcome to the intersection of Northmount Drive and 14th Street Northwest. This intersection is bordered by the three communities of Cambrian Heights, Rosemont, and Trywood, and is located in the heart of Calgary in close proximity to downtown and major roadways. Although Calgary has grown rapidly since 2005, the population of this area has remained relatively stable at around 9,000 residents. This area was established in the 1950s, taking over former agricultural lands up to Nose Hill Park. It was developed as a primarily single-family residential area during the second wave of Calgary's then auto-oriented suburban development. The existing tram network did not extend into this area, reinforcing auto mobility and auto dependency. The housing stock in this area is characterized by post-war single-family dwellings and some higher density multifamily condominiums and apartment buildings. Three major dimensions of the area are the built form, the natural landscape, and the social environment. The mobility of this area is characterized by several modes of transportation. The most dominant mode is the automobile. This mode relies largely on the two major routes that transect the community, Northmount Drive and 14th Street. Not only do these roads provide access for community residents, but they are also heavily used commuter thoroughfares. The prominent nature of these roadways hinders interaction and cohesion between the three communities. The community is concerned about the impact of automobiles and pedestrian safety. The auto-oriented design of the community has generated a priority for automobiles. This has resulted in the need for a high proportion of parking structures throughout the community, especially in the commercial zones. This area is served by several bus routes and is close to the northwest leg of the C-Train line. Some major stops offer bus shelters and benches for patrons. The old library parking lot has been turned into an interim park and ride facility, and this may contribute to a slight increase in vehicular traffic through the neighborhood. The walkability along the major roadways is uninviting. There is little buffer or barrier between pedestrians and cars, making for an unpleasant and potentially unsafe environment for pedestrians. Cycling is also an important aspect of the community. There is a bike lane along Northmount Drive, as well as cycling infrastructure throughout the area. A significant feature of the intersection are two cell phone towers, one prominently located on the southwest corner and a smaller tower along the southeast side of the intersection. The dominance of these towers makes for an unpleasant aesthetic in the area. Another defining feature of the intersection and commercial area is chain link fence. The use of this material gives the space an industrial feel. However, this material is not widely used in residential areas. Because of the setback nature of the strip mall, the shops and services rely heavily on signage for advertising, contributing to a busy visual landscape. Schools and some businesses have formal public artworks. These contribute to the character of the area. There's also some graffiti and tagging throughout the area and is a concern for private property owners. At the intersection are two strip malls separated by 14th Street. On the east side in Cambrian Heights is Northmount Plaza and Village. These strip malls offer a wide range of specialty products and services, many of which have retained a mom-and-pop scale and identity. On the west side is Cambrian Village, offering similar amenities, including a neighborhood pub, drive-through, and gas station. The community also has access to other small-scale commercial developments, mostly along Northmount Drive, some of which are mixed use. There are several schools that are located within the community and in surrounding areas. Schools are an important aspect of the community. However, the number of school-aged children in the community has declined. Many of these schools now depend on bused-in students in order to remain in operation. The area is home to several churches of varying denominations. The area has access to a number of public and private indoor and outdoor recreational facilities. There is a nearby police station along 14th Street, just north of John Laurie Boulevard. This allows for increased police presence in the area. There used to be a public library located at the northwest corner of the intersection. It is currently vacant. This area is composed of mostly single-family post-war bungalows with some higher density housing in close proximity to the main intersections. A block west from the Cambrian Heights Strip Mall is a gated development named the Villas at Confederation Park. The gated nature of these residences acts to physically segregate the development from the greater community. In recent years, there have been many renovations throughout the area. This has helped to maintain the original character and context of the community. However, some of the original homes are being demolished completely, only to be replaced by large-scale residences, altering the original small-town community feel. A variety of green spaces exist throughout the area. An example of this would be pocket parks that are scattered throughout the residential zones. While these parks are aesthetically pleasing and fill the required green space percentage by developers, they go largely underutilized. There are also a number of public parks, off-leash areas, and a golf course. These are a great asset to the community as they provide sites of interaction and leisure for community residents and outside visitors. Due to the age of the community, there are many mature trees dotting the landscape. These help to give the community a sense of character and history. The topography of this area is characterized by a variation in grade. This topography, while creating a scenic neighborhood, also can act as a barrier to various transportation modes in the area due to the difficulty adapting the built environment to the topography. There are a number of wildlife species, especially birds, that contribute to the biodiversity of the area, with over 100 bird species in Confederation Park alone. This is a strong community asset, integrating nature into the urban environment. Census data indicates that there's a high proportion of residents aged 25 to 75 and over, and a relatively small proportion of children and youth. This is a concern for the future of the community, as a young cohort contributes to sustaining local schools, libraries, and other services. In 2005, the median household income was around $70,000. This was slightly higher than the Calgary median family income of $67,000. Between 2000 and 2005, the number of low-income households decreased by 9.5%, while the Calgary average increased by 6.9%. There are a few after-school programs in the area and several in surrounding communities. This is an asset for young families and can be a pull factor for families considering moving into the area. There are 3 community centers and associations in the area. These are sites for community gatherings and meetings and form a central point of communication for residents with regular publications and newsletters. Finally, there is evidence that the area participates in several citywide programs such as Block Watch, Snow Angels, and charity donation sites. Cambrian Heights, Rosemont, and Trywood are all communities that are now considered to be inner city. The auto-oriented nature of the community makes it highly accessible by car. The communities are tied together by the commercial districts that culminate on the corner of 14th Street and Northmount Drive. The residential area, with its mature trees and park spaces, contrasts against the visual landscape of the intersection, which is dominated by chain-link fence, cell phone towers, and a myriad of commercial signage. Public services like churches and schools dot the landscape, but schools and services are at risk of closing because of the low proportion of youth within the community. The intersection is an important site for future development, community cohesion, and sustainability.